Welcome to your Real Estate Update with Darren Ahearn. Each week, we break down housing trends, mortgage updates, buyer and seller strategies, and the local changes shaping Frederick County and beyond. No fluff, just smart insight to help you make better decisions with your home and your money.
Hey folks, welcome back to your Real Estate Update. I am Darren Ahearn with RE/MAX Results, bringing you almost 24 years experience in the Maryland and PA region and really all over. Anywhere you see a house, looks like a house, sounds like a house, I can definitely help you out. If you are outside of the area of Maryland, PA, Virginia, West Virginia, I do have some amazing referral partners. I've already helped a couple people outside of our area to find amazing agents that are in the top 3% kind of thing. They've got tons of experience, grew up in the area, and they're going to be able to help you quite a bit in making sure that you have an excellent type journey that is awesome with buying and selling homes, investing and or renting, whatever you need. I'm able to be a great resource and help you out. So make sure you get a hold of me and I can do that. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I believe this is episode, if I'm not mistaken, number 12 or 13 or so. And I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure that you on the YouTube and all them like, subscribe, hit the button, and you'll be notified when all of the programs and podcasts come up here for Everything Frederick Live. So we are here, right here on North Market Street in Studio 401, bringing it hot and heavy to you. So got a lot of fun stuff today we're going to cover. Last couple programs, I've been talking about what in the world when all hell breaks loose in a real estate contract transaction, which that never happens. What are all the different things I've been working through to help educate you and arm and danger you with what you can do and pay attention to whenever something goes wrong and it threatens a settlement and closing, because that happens. Some of them are delayed, and thank God not all of them. And some of them crash and burn, which is very rare. Less than 6% of all properties under contract actually never make it to the finish line in settlement. So my job is to make sure that you know what to pay attention to and to be your agent. If you don't have someone, to be able to professionally guide you so that we have the least amount of stress, least amount of glitches and problems. My motto has always been sweat and preparation, and you will not bleed in the battle. So also real quick, I'm on every Saturday, WFMD 930 radio right here in Frederick. Your Frederick Real Estate Update. I've been hosting now for about 10 years, and Terry Kernan from Presidential Bank Mortgage is also on with me. And we do that every Saturday at 11 to 11:30. So make sure you tune in on that, WFMD.com. You go in the drop down and check out our programs and get us there as well. Plus, we have the drop down here for the Everything Frederick Live platform, and it's awesome. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Like and share, get it out there to everyone. Also doing the little $100 gift card to Sheetz gas station, the summer giveaway, just for fun. Whoever can tell us what day they think interest rates, and this is coming from the mortgage app, the Mortgage News Daily app, which is amazing. It changes like twice a day, and it shows you where the mortgages rates are every single day. We use that one as the guide, so no one can say any different about cheating or anything else. And we use that. 6.25% is what we're really loving to get to. Who can tell us what day that's going to happen on? I have about 18 or 19 people that have already registered for that. And unfortunately, rates have gone up. We're just above 6.75, but we are in hopes of seeing rates come back down again. And eventually, I promise you, we are going to get there. What everybody wants is to get below 6 or back in the 3s, which was a little unicorn. Please don't hold your breath waiting for that to happen to buy a house. You'll be dead. Our kids probably are never going to see that happen. So, all right. So I'm here for you. We have a special guest. We're going to have a lot of fun today. Awesome. We're going to obviously thank our awesome sponsors coming up here during the program. Make sure you utilize them because they're amazing. Terry Kernan with Presidential Bank, Community Title Network with Brianne Paul and Michael and the crew, Diego and all them over there, and Nancy. They do a great job. I think they did like 5 settlements this last month for me and got a bunch more coming up. And they're just awesome. Never had a problem. And of course, today, as I introduce, which is an awesome privilege and honor, my insurance agent company, my insurance agency, Connie Phillips Insurance. And I have with me awesome guests. Amy decided to come on. She's here with me. Connie, I just couldn't talk your mommy into it. She's like, I don't know, Darren. I think Amy should come. And I said, no, let's get you on in there. Let's get your neck fixed, your arm fixed, your back fixed. We need to get insurance for your body right now.
Right.
She's been having issues. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Here it is. Amy Phillips. Tell everybody who you are and a little bit about yourself.
Well, Darren, my name is Amy Phillips. As you said, I work with Connie Phillips Insurance. We've been in business for 40 years, serving the Frederick community with their home, auto, life, health insurance, business insurance. So basically, I'm the personal lines agent for Connie Phillips Insurance. If you're looking to have some home and auto quotes done free of charge, we do not charge anybody to get a quote. We will look at your policy for free and give you suggestions. That does not mean you need to take them. It just means that we believe that either you're underinsured or could even be overinsured.
Yeah, so there you go. I want to personally thank you because me having 6 boys and having 6, 7 vehicles. And
yes.
I think like we have you on speed dial, man. I have Amy and you guys.
Your kids have my cell phone.
Yeah, they do. So this is the beautiful part. If you're out there with other insurance companies, you're just like a number maybe, and you're not going to get good service. And I tell you, your mom, I remember the day I was in New Jersey buying a Suburban. It was on a Saturday, and you probably remember this. It was years ago. And all these other companies, if I went to anybody else, they would have been like, here's the, the dealership saying, hey, you can't take this Suburban home to you, show us proof of insurance and a binder. And I was like, oh, that's easy. My insurance agent's like on speed dial. So thank God you guys were there. And 15, 20 minutes later, you sent it over to the dealership and we could take the car home rather than having to go all the way back to New Jersey to get it. Because if we had another insurance company that we couldn't get a hold of a live, awesome person who is able to help us, and we were just a little number on the screen, that would have been a big, big problem. So you've helped me not just with that, but many of things. And thank God, knock on wood, knock on whatever this is made of. We've had no claim, no big stuff, and we don't want none of that. I tell my boys, be safe drivers, no problems, no cares, concerns, and doing our homeowner policy and all that. So that's what we're going to dive into today. So yeah, make sure that you guys, like Amy says, it's free of charge, doesn't cost anything. The best thing I think, Amy, that I think about is the most important thing somebody can do is making sure they get always, no matter what, a second opinion. Have your policy looked at top to bottom to make sure that you have the right. Everybody's thinking, oh, how can I save money? Which is a big deal. But the biggest thing is making sure that you have the right coverage and that you're not underinsured, God forbid, or even maybe overinsured and things you don't need or didn't understand or just questions. And being able to really be able to sleep better at night. That's the whole idea. But 9 out of 10 times, I know I've had at least 30, 40, 50 of my clients and people that I've referred to you that have been extremely happy with how the service you've provided them and also being very competitive. And they can just sleep better at night. They're just like, Darren, thank you for being a great trusted resource and having, Connie Phillips Insurance to be able to turn to. So
education is one of our biggest things, Darren. Educating the client, making sure that they understand the coverage that they actually are accepting, making sure they understand the endorsements that are on their policy, and making sure they understand the exclusions.
Big word, exclusions. So
correct.
Absolutely. So here's the deal. We're doing this recorded, but you guys drop down in the comments. I love it. All your questions, cares, thoughts, and ideas and concerns. Make sure you put it in. You can type that in and we will get those. We will definitely find and see those. And I can definitely build. We can get back to you on questions and things like that. But the most important thing now that we have Amy right here, you just got to give those guys a call and she's going to have the information. It's going to be on the ads and everything as a sponsor. So, but thank you guys so much. We're going to dive right in this top 8 questions. But before we hit the 8 questions, as a real estate agent, Amy, I can't go without saying this and asking this as you know what's coming. The number one thing as a real estate agent, we've never had to deal with this in all my 24 years until like the last 3 years or 4 years. And I don't know if it was triggered by COVID. Somebody ate the wrong pizza over at some, agency, not you guys, but somebody on the higher ups and the people that are the powers that be in the whole industry or whatever it is. I don't know what in the world happened, but I just remember waking up to the idea of, how old is the roof? It's all about the roof.
It's all about the roof.
You remember that song back? I don't know if it was in the 80s. It was the roof is on fire.
Yes.
Well, we don't want no roofs catching on fire, but that was a fun little jingle song. But it made us, when we were having buyers to be able to purchase homes,
right.
It wasn't just you, but it was the whole industry that was coming back. And the first thing they were saying, it used to be, how far is the fire hydrant away from the firehouse? Away from the house, and what about this, and what's it made of? And those are important. But it was almost like the very first thing that we were getting, blasted with is, how old's the roof? It was like an interrogation question coming. How's the roof? was like, there is a roof on there. Yes, there is. It's secured. I think it's got shingles and no, how old's the roof?
You must know.
Yes, you must know. Like, we're not going, there's no other questions. There's nothing else to be discussed about insurance till we know that one thing. And you know what's funny, Amy, is a lot of sellers, I ask them before I even go out and see their property and list it, and especially helping buyers, I ask it, how's the roof? We obviously get, I don't know, I have no idea.
Right.
Or they always say my famous line, well, we've never had a leak. We've never had a problem with it. That's not what I asked you.
It's at the age of the roof.
What's the age of the roof? We need to know the birthday, the actual birth certificate. We want to see a birth certificate.
Key things for people to remember is to keep track of when you replace your roof. People don't buy a binder. Get a binder of everything that you redo in your home, because it will help you in your insurance when you go to get a policy.
Massive. So, Amy, tell everybody out there, why as a real estate agent, we are absolutely nutty and crazy about the age of the roof, and why is it this 15, 20-year thing? What are the rules and the hoops you got to jump through in the whole 9 yards? Tell everybody.
So the roof varies by carrier. So the carrier determines their guidelines on how many years they will allow a roof before they change it from replacement value to actual cost value. So it depends on the carrier that you're written with. Us as agents, we automatically know which carrier to go with depending on the age of the roof. It really gets more trying once you get past 15, 20 years, as Darren was saying. Once you get past that mark, they basically want to put it on as actual cash value, meaning you're going to be depreciated down to basically nothing when you go to get a repair done. They're not going to pay you anything.
Yeah. And so it's just like a tiered thing. And so when I have sellers and stuff and they tell me, oh, roof's about 18 years old, I'm like, oh, that's not good.
Nope.
But the thing is, they don't understand what we're talking about until I explain it. They're like, what do you mean that's not good? There's no leaks. There's no problems. I get it. But here's the deal. It's about insurability. And so we don't know what direction it could kind of go. It's a little iffy once we get to those kind of numbers. And so one of the things that we are proactive about as agents is letting our buyers know, or our seller, if your roof's over like 25 years old, I tell sellers, forget it. Just get it replaced.
Yep.
Get it replaced, and the buyers, you're going to get more money for your house. Your buyer's going to be happy. And then now they don't have to deal with insurance issues about it. But if it's less than this, we always have to say, there is the idea that we got to find out from you guys. Do we have to get it professionally, have a roofing company like PJ's or somebody come out and have it certified? Tell us a little bit of what you're looking for about certification with roofs.
So it has to come from a legit contractor. They have to be licensed when they're being when the roof's being certified. PJ's Contracting is a great company. They do a lot of certifications for us. But basically, they come out, they look at your roof, they tell you how many years your life expectancy is left on the roof, and they provide a certificate. We are able to provide that to the carrier. Then the carrier rests assured that your roof doesn't need to be replaced within the next year or two. And they're not going to be on the hook if you get a wind and hailstorm, some shingles fly off. Now you want a whole new roof replaced, which is where the problem started in the very beginning.
Yeah, so this is an important factor that we see quite a bit, and this is something to pay attention to. So there we go. Any other thoughts on the roof replacement ideas for people to know?
Sellers, definitely, if it's over 15, 20 years old, I would definitely look into either getting a roof certification or even replacing it. As Darren said, it is going to bring up your home value, and it is going to help that buyer get a good home insurance policy at a good rate.
Yep. And what if a seller, I have sellers, they say, oh, I don't have the money. I don't have $15,000, $20,000 or whatever it's going to cost to get a new roof put on. Have you lost your mind? And then all of a sudden we enter into the side of, hey, what are the things that you do as an insurance company that can be done after settlement? Can a buyer get a policy in place that covers the roof, but for a period of time, and then a particular time frame where it has to be replaced?
Yes, we can work with the carrier. If the buyer is planning on replacing the roof once they purchase the home and the home is technically theirs, we will work with the carrier. The carrier will usually give you 90 days to complete that task, to be able to provide an invoice, provide pictures showing that the roof has been replaced. At that time is when they'll give you the credit. Before then, they will not give you a credit for the roof. They will still put it on as actual cash value.
So there you go. All right. I can sleep better at night now that we know the rules. Now we know how it works. And it's something that is important to work through, though, guys. And
it changes.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
That's the biggest thing.
You people are like herding cats, man. You guys, the insurance industry, I can't keep up with I know we ask as agents, we're like, hey, what's on the horizon? What could be changing? What's the best things that we can be sharing with our sellers and buyers and all that? And this is why we have you here. So, all right, we're going to talk into the 8 top questions that you brought us and that we think about. I mean, we got to hit the big elephant in the room right now, and then we'll do a commercial break after this and thank you and others as our sponsors. But the top 8, we're going to start it off. We got to go big or go home. Here we go, Amy. You ready?
Ready.
This is the one that people are just like, what in the world? Why are homeowner insurance rates increasing? What is going on?
Weather. That's the biggest factor.
It's sunny outside. What are you talking about?
Sunny outside here, but it's not sunny outside. Unfortunately, the California fires, the flooding all over the world, that all factors into our rates here. Everybody thinks that it's local, and it is demographically. They do quote you or give you a rate based on your demographic. But the reinsurance market, which is the market that is the insurance after the insurance, the reinsurance market comes in and the rates go up when the reinsurance market no longer wants to insure.
Yeah. Why is insurance rates going up? And, there was a day I could look at a house and with about 95% confidence in my own knowing, seeing things and understanding and studying this stuff, I could see a house with a buyer and say, hey, look, you're anything above $1,500 a year premium, you're probably overpaying. Like, you got to get an explanation.
Yeah.
These guys are going to pull a clue report. They're going to see, the insurance companies are going to see if there's anybody in past claims, right? Tell everybody what a clue report is. What do you do with that?
A clue report is a claims report, basically. It tells you on the home what all claims have been filed. It doesn't matter if you are the owner of that home or not. It's based on the address of the home.
Yep. And that's what I do. I tell buyers, before we even put an offer in, we already want them to call you and get a quote and find out what's insurable, what questions need to be asked about every little thing top to bottom. Because Amy, here's the thing. There is no provision within the contract of sale with real estate unless it's added in. We do not have a standard provision that says for a buyer, hey, look, I've been under contract. I did a home inspection. I'm getting my financing done. I've done an appraisal, the whole 9 yards. We're like a week from settlement, and I called the insurance company and I called you guys, and we don't like the quote. We're just like, what in the world? We didn't know it was going to be that much. Yep. We don't want to buy the house now. We want to back out of the contract, get our deposit back, and go find something else. Let me tell you something, boys and girls. You just can't do that. You cannot rescind a contract unless it's in writing. Make it a contingency based on the insurance quotes and the insurance information. You can't do that. And so a good agent and being smart, I like to make sure that my buyers know what they're getting and how much it's going to cost them with insurance wise.
All first.
Before we even do an offer.
Yep.
No surprises. Zero. Sleep at night, right?
Right.
So, and that's why I love you guys.
It also helps your financial contract. When it comes down to the mortgage, I've came across some where the bank has called me back and said, that's too much money. That won't fit into their budget. And I'm like, I'm not sure what I can do on that.
Yeah, you can't. It's not like
I can't change the rates.
Right. You can't just lower it out of the goodness of your heart so the buyer now qualifies and everybody's happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody would love me then.
If that could happen, I'd go buy a house tomorrow and give you a call.
Yep, of course. But unfortunately, the rates are based on the carrier, and the carrier submits those rates to the Maryland commissioner each year.
So we know there's more of a weather events and all this stuff going on. And Amy, a lot of people, and I would scream this, and maybe you, hey, I don't have wildfires in my backyard. I don't have flooding. I'm up on the mountain, for God's sakes, man. If it floods up there, Noah better be in my backyard building me an ark, And that's the funny thing is, just because it's not happening where you're at, we're all paying for it. And it's not a Connie Phillips Insurance thing. No. It's the whole industry. It's everybody. So obviously costs have gone much higher. The cost of labor and construction. Talk about this for a minute.
Yeah, the cost of labor and construction, Darren, a couple of years ago, how much was a square foot average? What, 150, 175?
Yeah, maybe. Now it's 300.
Right. Now you're looking at 300 to replace your house. If something was a total loss, you would look at 300 a square foot to replace your house. So insurance carriers are factoring that in. The cost, the labor, the cost of materials, the cost of the supplies to get them to the place that they need to go, all that's went up. And so that, and ever raises your insurance rate.
Yeah, so it's not a misnomer. It's just natural. But the thing we're surprised about is how much. And this is the thing, Amy, I've learned that it's important for you. If in fact, at any given moment, if you put a new roof on, call Amy, call the insurance company, let them know, hey, I just put a new roof on. What happens when somebody does that right away versus waiting and finding out later, 5 years later? What happens?
90% of the time you get a discount when you put on a new roof.
That's it.
Most carriers, all of them give you a discount because your roof's brand new. So they know that they're not going to be on the hook for that.
Right. And it's the same, Amy, other items. Like if somebody puts an alarm system in or just updates. Remember the time I had our kitchen, we did a whole entire total full kitchen remodel at the tune of almost like $70,000. Today, it'd be over $100,000. But those are the calls we make to say, hey, can you factor this in? Because what it costed at the time to do versus today, in the whole entire house, it's totally different.
Correct. And they do inflation. That's what insurance carriers have started adding on to policies every year as well, which is why you also see the rates going up. They do a certain percentage, it's usually anywhere from 4 to 6%, that they increase your policy yearly to cover these builders' labor's cost.
One of the things I didn't see in the bullet points, and I don't know where this fits in, but I think it's important to know, all these frivolous claims from the past and all this crazy stuff. How much has that impacted insurability rates going up the whole nine yards?
Well, we'll go back to roofs, Darren. So you had a lot of people that would beat on your door and say, hey, we can replace your roof right after a weather storm. And a lot of people jumped on that. Carriers paid out brand new roofs everywhere. And now that's why the carriers are tightening up on those roof claims. They're not easily being paid out. They're being questioned on how old the roof is, if it should fall under maintenance versus whether it's a true actual Pearl claim.
Right. I'm amazed. I'll be very frank with you. I've been honest. I've not been happy with certain people that I've sat down with and they go bragging, oh man, I had somebody, like you said, knock on their door. We had a hailstorm. I had a tiny bit of damage, or they made up damage or sent photos or did whatever they did. And they're yelling and screaming at home owners, I can get you a free roof, free. And then all of a sudden I got people bragging to me that they got a free roof. And you know what I do, Amy? I've stopped them in the middle and I said, time out. That roof, that was free for you.
Right.
But whether you know it or not, you're now paying for it futuristically a little bit. But guess who else is paying for your fraudulent, it could be known as fraudulent, I don't know, potential fraudulent claim and getting this roof for free, for God's sakes, because I've never gotten a free roof in my life. I'm paying for it. So's your neighbor. So do you think they enjoy your fun story? I don't think so.
No.
So that actually upset me a little bit, to just be honest. And so, you know,
I love when they come to my door. I'm like, I'm an insurance agent. You know, this is illegal.
This is fraud. This is illegal.
This is illegal.
Give me your name and number again.
They never come to my door again.
I guess not. And that's the sad part, is we saw the pendulum go from wild or west a little bit, it seems like, or whatever, to now on this side of the bridge that's making more rational, common sense decisions and moves, which is good. So, all right, we're going to take a commercial break. Thank you guys. You're one of them. Awesome sponsors here. And we'll be right back. Check this out.
Hi there, I'm Brianne Paul, an attorney with Community Title Network, the most trusted title partner for real estate professionals, buyers, and sellers. Our experienced attorneys, settlement agents, and processing staff put you at ease whether your closing involves residential real estate, commercial real estate, or other real estate matters in between. We work with the most respected title underwriters in the region to make sure your rights are protected and all title problems are resolved quickly. Experience close to home with our many locations, serving Maryland, Virginia, West Virginia, Delaware, Washington, D.C., and Ohio, as well as remote signing options available. Reliable, efficient, top-notch service. That's Community Title Network. How can we help you today? Find us online at www.communitytn.com or call us at 301-304-6620.
When you care deeply about Frederick County, you want your generosity to make a meaningful impact. The Community Foundation provides trusted leadership and guidance to connect people who care with the causes they care about, supporting local students, nonprofits, and community needs. Together, we're creating enduring impact and making more possible across Frederick County. Visit frederickcountygives.org.
All right, I'm Darren Ahearn with RE/MAX Results, coming back to you here live with Amy Phillips from Connie Phillips Insurance. Man, we could sit here for hours and hours, but we're hitting the hot topics. We're hitting the big stuff that hits home every single day, and the stuff, Amy, that buyers and sellers for houses and people, homeowners are like, what? No one ever told me this. I never saw that on a TikTok video. I never saw that on YouTube. What are you talking about? And by the way, there's a lot of noise out there. You got to obviously be careful. I'm not saying we know it all, but you got to be really careful where you get your information from. And be careful of Uncle Bob, because he's seen all the videos and he's going to tell you whatever he wants to tell you at the, over turkey at Thanksgiving. Don't wait till then to find out about this stuff, by the way. All right. Number 2 question. Can a home become uninsurable?
Yes.
No.
Absolutely.
How? What are you talking about?
Roof becomes too old. The plumbing becomes too old. Electrical. The older the home, I'm not saying that you cannot insure it. Most of the time you're going to non-standard markets, meaning you're going to pay a higher rate. And those non-standard markets are still going to put ACV on the roof, and they're still going to require you to do a home inspection because of the age of the roof, the plumbing, the electrical.
Oh boy. So yes, this is another big thing is agents. So you like those old Victorian farmhouses, do ya?
They're beautiful.
Oh, they sure are.
But they can be problematic when it comes to insurance.
Yeah.
For one, 90% of the time, you're not able to rebuild that back to like, kind, and quality. You're never going to find that craftsmanship. Right.
And that's the problem, is it's so cost prohibitive. Now, if you have enough money, you can do anything.
Oh, absolutely.
But when it comes to insurability of these things, man, it is, there's a little bit more questioning happens from your end.
Yes.
And what documentation or what's needed and all that to really make sure the house, isn't falling apart, because that's a problem for any house.
They look at prior insurance claims on the home when we're going into it, see if there's any unrepaired water damage. Stuff like that is what the insurance carrier is coming in to look at for the home inspection.
One of the big things this triggers with an insurable, this is a good spot maybe about vacant homes. Whenever I have sellers that are, we're listing a house and putting it on the market for sale, and I have one like this now. We started off with, they lived in it when we got it into the market. They found another house I got them, or whatever. They're moving with, wherever they're going and doing. And they take all their furniture and the house is now vacant.
Right.
Most insurance agents, most real estate agents, I should say, us, don't know and understand the rules of your game. It's not a game, but your rules. Of like, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, now that you no longer live in the house, the first call you need to make, call your insurance company, call Connie, let them know that you no longer it's primary residence and you're living here 24/7. And they look at me like I'm nuts. And they're like, what are you talking about? Why would I need to do that? Tell everybody why they need to do this.
Well, with some carriers, it actually could be an exclusion in your policy that states if the home is vacant, that if something was to happen to it, they will not replace or repair that home. So if there was a fire and it was a complete loss, you're out. There's no money. There's no claim to turn in. So basically, when you move out of the house and you vacant the home, there is a policy that we would put on there to endorse that policy to show that the home is vacant. But only certain carriers will write that as well.
So that's important.
Correct.
You just can't forget and be like, oh, it's the same policy. It's the same coverage. I'm good.
No.
And then you got the seller that always says, well, if there was a problem, how would the insurance company know that I'm not living here all the time? How would they know that? Especially if they still have furniture in there.
Correct. And that's a gray area, Darren. Unfortunately, I have sellers that tell me, hey, I'm going over there every day and looking at this house. So
they got food in the fridge still. Hey,
it's not vacant. It's not vacant. But technically, they are not residing or sleeping there overnight on a daily basis. So it is vacant.
There you go.
And you need to write an insurance policy for a vacant home, not a homeowner's policy for someone who lives there.
Here's a nice question I got for you that I thought about just now. What if I go on vacation for like a month?
That doesn't count.
Why? I just left for a month. You just told me if I'm not sleeping there every night. What are your rules? Tell me.
So if you go on vacation, the insurance carrier will acknowledge that you have left on vacation for a month. Most people who do take those type of vacations that are gone for months at a time,
they're rich.
They have people that are coming in and checking on the home, or they have a property manager that is making sure that home isn't flooding when they're not there, making sure that home's roof isn't dripping, making sure there's no water sewer backup. That's all things that carriers worry about on vacant homes.
Yeah. I always tell people, Amy, like if you're leaving more than a day or 2 or 3, turn off the dang water.
Yep.
You can't turn off sprinkler systems, by the way.
Nope.
I had the worst horrific nightmare buyer that was bought the house, was moving in, came from Texas, and the sprinkler system failed 3 days before. It was in Montgomery County. The sprinkler system failed 3 days before she was moving in. We had already settled 2-3 weeks prior. Thank God she had the right coverage and all this stuff. This was over 10 years ago. And lo and behold, you're talking about a nightmare. It destroyed the townhouse. Destroyed it.
I bet.
It was on the 4th floor. The water came down, and it was $200,000. They had to redo the whole thing. It almost moved the entire townhouse off the foundation. There was so much damage and water. I'd never seen anything like it in my life, but thank God
The insurance covered it.
Thank God it got covered. It got redone, and it was crazy.
Probably gutted it.
They did. Yeah, gutted it. I'd never seen anything like this. You could have put it in a horror movie when I walked in. I went there to go give goodies and toilet paper and trash bags and snacks and thank you. Can't wait to see you in 3 days. That was what I was doing, only to encounter the worst damage I've ever seen in my life. She was driving by herself with her dog and coming up from Texas in a Ryder truck. And I said, pull over. Before I tell you, you need to pull over.
You need to pull over.
This was a pullover moment, and she cried, and she had to put her big girl pants on, and then we had to deal with all of it, and it was nuts. So, yeah,
hopefully
this is why it's important.
Agent that walked her through it.
Yes, and she was okay then. It took a little while, got her a long-term rental, and blah, blah, blah. So, all right, uninsurable we've covered in some cases. Yeah, make sure that you know. Any other comments on that?
Oh, no.
All right. What are this is a big one, too. This is a little elephant, but it's an elephant. What are the biggest insurance mistakes buyers make?
Focusing on premium and not coverage.
I just want to save money.
Everybody wants to save money, but what they have to understand, if the house is a complete loss, it's costly to replace that house. So making sure you have the correct dwelling amount on your policy, making sure that you have, the correct personal liability for if someone goes to sue you on your policy. So personal liability is on everyone's policy. You definitely can select your limits. I recommend higher limits, usually always at least 100,000 or more. Mm-hmm. And that's bare minimum, honestly, in this day and age, because you can be sued for so much.
That's more. A paper cut.
Yep.
I came to your house and you gave me a paper cut.
Yep. And that's unfortunate in the day and age that we're living in. I call it sue happy. Everybody is sue happy. They're suing for everything. So making sure you have the correct personal liability on your homeowner's policy can help you with court costs and fees, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. So don't focus on just the amount. The less, the lower amount cover, you gotta know what's in there, know what the coverage is. Not obtaining insurance quotes before making an offer. We talked about that a little bit. Assuming any home can insure reasonable costs, underestimating flood, wildfire, and other risks, failing to review claim history of the property, and then not understanding deductibles.
Talk about that.
Yes. Hit this.
Let me touch on that one, Darren. Right. Okay. So not understanding deductibles and policy exclusions. Most people, when they look at a policy, they automatically assume that they have one deductible. Carriers are now doing 2 deductibles. They're doing one for most perils, and then you have a separate wind and hail deductible. That wind and hail deductible can be up to 2% of your coverage A, meaning if you had to replace your roof, your deductible could be up into the $10,000 to $12,000. So it's very important that you understand what your deductibles are in your policy, knowing that what's going to come out of pocket if you're a complete loss, making sure that you understand that there's exclusions in every policy, and you should check your policy documents to check those exclusions.
Here's a question I got for you.
Okay.
You can give any scenario. When is it smart? Well, this is the easy one. This is a softball question.
Okay.
When's it smart to file a claim? And then when is it smart? I don't know if I should file a claim or not. Like, what are the circumstances that fall under those things?
So if you call me and we're talking about this, I'm going to tell you the best thing to do is, of course, not file the claim if it's something that you can pay out of pocket. If it's something minimum that you can pay out of pocket, you don't want to file a claim because you're going to be surcharged for the next 3 years on your insurance policy because you filed a claim.
So for instance, I have a small, tiny little leak. It hasn't done much damage. I have a plumber guy came over and he's like, all right, it's $700 to fix this. Holy cow, $700. Let me call Connie Phillips Insurance. I'm putting a claim in right now.
And I'm going to tell you that your deductible is probably more than $700 and that you should pay for it out of pocket, unfortunately.
So that's the whole question. Like, at what point does it make sense? So not only is it just the deductible.
Correct. And I tell people on the deductible, look at it this way.
Yeah.
What would you turn in? What is the most amount that you are willing to pay out of pocket that you can afford?
Mm-hmm.
That should be your deductible. For example, my home, on my homeowners policy, I have a $2,500 deductible. That's becoming the new standard, $2,500.
Okay.
For some people, that's a lot.
Yeah. But the goal is to get 25 Benjamins and save those babies as fast as possible and make him your cousin as quick as you can, right?
Yes.
Okay. So $2,500, $2,000 double. Now, at what point does it, you said a sort of thing, like 3 years. Wait a minute. What are you talking about? Sort of thing. What charge? What is this? Something beyond the deductible?
Yes. It's basically your premium. So every year your policy is renewed.
Mm-hmm.
You are then surcharged if there's claims on your policy. So if you've had claims, just like with auto rates go up if you have a claim or a ticket. Homeowners goes up if you have a claim.
How much can this be?
Oh, that varies by the carrier and the severity of the claim.
Like, give us an average just so I can sleep tonight.
Just so you can sleep tonight. Say you replace the roof.
Okay.
All right. You're probably going to get a 4% increase just because of the claim on your overall policy.
So if my overall policy, let's say, what is the average today? $2,000 a year?
Average $2,000.
Okay, $2,000. 4%, you're going to raise it?
Yep.
So it's going to go from $2,000 to how much more?
Come on, figure that math out, Darren.
Let's see. 1% would be on 2,000. Is that 20? So you're going to raise me like $100, $200 a year?
$200 a year.
All right. So you're going to go up $200 a year.
For the next 3 years.
For the next 3 years. So it's going to be like $600. And after 3 years, does that drop off?
The claim drops off.
Okay.
And yes, you will get a little bit of a subsidy basically into the policy saying, hey, that claim's off. So it will give you relief. On that 3rd year renewal, your renewal rate might not be as high. So typically your renewal, say you have a 4% increase on a renewal, maybe your renewal is only 2% on that 3rd year because that claim has fell off.
Okay. So these are good to know. Are there any other big mistakes that you've encountered that you see that homeowners and buyers are making?
Buyers, usually the biggest thing is not getting the homeowner's quote prior to going to settlement. They'll wait to the day before and call me and want to get a quote, and they need it sent over to their finance company. And then there's a problem with the finance because the quote was too high. So buyers, definitely you want to make sure you're getting that quote from an insurance carrier, from Connie Phillips Insurance.
Yep.
Give me a call. I can give you a quote. That way it's factored into your finance agreement and you're ready to go. For sellers, the biggest thing is keeping that notebook of what you have repaired, what you have replaced, because that's going to be beneficial to that buyer and it's going to make you look more, what's the word I'm looking for, Darren?
Professional?
Professional. Yeah, professional is a good word. Makes you look more professional. And you also have those special dates. The roof, the electric, the plumbing. Those are your key items.
Yeah, you're up to date on it. So, all right, before we go into what claims are the most common right now, we are going to take a little break here and we're going to thank our sponsors. And you're one of them. Thank you, guys. So check this out.
Life doesn't always go as planned, but with Connie Phillips Insurance, you'll be ready for whatever comes your way. As an independent agent, CPI shops multiple carriers to find the right coverage at the right price. Auto, home, life, or business, we got you covered with personal service you can trust. Call Connie Phillips Insurance today at 301-662-5717. Remember, advising what's in your best interest, not just selling policies.
Hey, I'm Terry Kernan, Vice President and Branch Manager of Presidential Bank Mortgage in Frederick. Today's podcast is brought to you by Presidential Bank Mortgage in Frederick. Since I opened the branch in July of 1999, we've built our success on experience, stability, and exceptional customer service. In fact, most of our team has been with us for over 10 years, and over 1/3 have been with us for more than 20 years. So whether you're buying your first home, building your dream home, investing with a DSCR loan, or just plain old refinancing, we offer every major loan program nationwide and are licensed in all 50 states. Give my team a call at Presidential Bank Mortgage, where experience truly makes the difference.
All righty, there you go. Presidential Bank Mortgage, my awesome partner in crime also, Terry Kernan. Make sure you can get a hold of him. All the information you'll see scrolling down there. And of course, Connie Phillips here at the end. You can tell everybody how to get a hold of you as well. What claims are most common right now? What do you see?
A lot of wind and hail claims right now.
Really?
Yeah, due to the storms that are coming in and blowing. We've had a couple high gust winds that have taken some trees out. So wind and hail claims are big. In the wintertime, it's usually your frozen pipes. That's your major claims in the winter. But in the summer, spring, it's your heavy rains. It's your roof could be leaking because of the high winds. It's the storm damage that it causes on the side of your house. It could take off your vinyl siding.
Yeah.
So that's the major ones. A couple appliances. People need to check their appliances. If the appliances are older, know that they could potentially cause a leak. They have water sensors that you can buy and put underneath of each appliance, and it will actually start beeping if it detects water.
Yeah. And so with that being said, I always tell people, get a home warranty, just a regular house home warranty through Cinch or American Home Shield. I got connections for those as well. That's going to be a lot cheaper. I'm telling you right now, I promise you, right? That's going to be a lot cheaper than a claim, no doubt, especially since you're throwing around numbers at $200 and $2,500. I'm ventilating over here. Anytime I see even one or two Benjamins have to leave my wallet, I get nervous at my age,
Right?
I got 6 boys, man. Are you kidding me? They think Benjamins grow in my back pocket. It's amazing to me.
4 kids, so I completely understand.
Yeah, a $20 bill when I was young, that was some serious cash. Today, you show them a $20 bill and they laugh at you. They're like, Dad, where's Ben?
Right.
Ben.
What's that going to do?
And
for
we're
you,
not
Dad?
talking about rice either. We're talking about that other Ben.
Well, Dad doesn't even put a tank of gas in there for you.
That's the whole problem now, right?
Right?
Yep. Does homeowners insurance cover? Oh, the big M. This is a 4-letter word in real estate.
Yes.
Man, it's a cuss word. Mold and water damage.
So this is a gray line.
Yeah. How do you handle this?
So it depends. If it's due to a pipe burst and you handle it and you don't allow it to sit there and get worse, 90% of the time the carrier is going to take care of that claim for you. If it's repeated seepage that is just ongoing and you do nothing about it, the carrier will deny the claim.
Is this in the fine print of the policies, or where do we find this?
That is in the fine print of the policy. It is an exclusion on the policy typically that if you have repeated seepage that it will be denied as
Is this like all carriers, or?
It is all carriers.
All right.
Now, some carriers are coming out with endorsements that you can add an endorsement for water seepage. So if it did occur to you and you didn't know by some reason or did not notice it, it would be covered. But I only have about 2 carriers that I can think of that does that endorsement right now.
All right. So sudden plant failure, had our storm related things on it. So this is a big exclusions. Talk a little bit more about that, because I think this is the biggest thing. I can't imagine how many people call you thinking it's covered and it's not. That could be, I don't know, sewer backup, flood, this, that, you name it. Like, I don't know. Oh, and I would specifically know about, like, I get a lot of people. I just had someone buy a house with not 1, 2 fireplaces in it. Talk about these.
Yes. So fireplaces are allowed, of course, but you have to make sure that they've been maintenance. If you have a chimney sweep come in, definitely keep your records on that. The biggest problem with fireplaces is when you do a wood stove insert. The wood stove insert has to be up to code. If the wood stove insert is not up to code, the carrier will ask you to remove it.
How do you know it's up to code?
They come out and inspect it.
Ooh.
It's usually stamped with a seal, like a serial number.
Okay.
And it'll advise them if it's the certain temperature that has allowed it to get up to far as the wood stove goes, how hot the wood stove can get up to. It's a certification, but they get really picky on those.
Yeah, important. So that's what I just shared with a buyer. I said, hey, call Mace. That's who I use in Smithsburg, or anybody you want. It's real important now, like not wait until September when everybody calls. Have them come out now and do
the suite.
Check everything. Check out everything, top to bottom. Check out the chimney and making sure, and you may even want to consider. So here's the difference I want to ask you about. I don't know if you know this. How much does it change coverage and everything in every regard if somebody installs a stainless steel flue liner? Because I am absolutely nutty about those being done, because I don't want a buyer that I help buy a house and then they're like, here, Darren, we had a chimney fire. And I remember you saying about how important it is to put a stainless steel liner in, but we didn't want to do it, or we couldn't do it, or I don't know what. Talk about that with insurance.
So, of course, any preventive maintenance that you do on the home that's going to prevent a fire, it's going to prevent water damage, the carrier is going to appreciate. Some carriers might not even approve that wood stove if it doesn't have that stainless steel pipe vent. I might have to go non-standard if the carrier doesn't accept that stainless steel pipe vent, or if you don't have the stainless steel pipe vent for fireproofing.
Yeah. So
that's what they come out to look at, though, Darren. They're looking at what pipes you have up your chimney. If your chimney
double lined,
if it has any wear and tear on the outside of that chimney, is it cracked? Is it falling apart? Stuff like that. They're going to say something and make you repair that if they feel that it is not safe.
Most important thing I tell people is have a professional company every single year for $300 or $400 to come and service and clean it and check it out. Check the firebox, check this, check that. That's their job.
Yep.
And then they're going to give you that neat little receipt and piece of paper, which I know you guys, insurance companies, that's what you want. And by the way, keep that like online, like scan it, save it, email it, put it in binders, and like put that in a safety fireproof box, the whole 9 yards. Because God forbid what's the number one reason that we see houses with fires and things? Most of it's like chimneys or starts in the garage and things, not electrical.
Nope. It's usually chimney fires or somebody sets a pot holder on a stove.
There you go. And that nonsense will start in October, November. Yep. And that's the sad part, is when I see those on the Frederick scanner, I already know 50% of the time or so, that's probably what the heck was going on. So, and it's sad. It really is. It's preventable. This is the thing. It's preventable.
Yes.
And it helps your insurance. When you guys get these things done, they love it. So, all right, let's talk about umbrella policies. What in the world? It's not raining out. I don't have no umbrella I need to have out. Why do I need an umbrella policy? Do you guys even discuss this with people or talk about it? Do they think about it?
Yes. There are some people out there, definitely financial advisors will tell you, because umbrellas, not everybody needs to have an umbrella. But it's just like it sounds, Darren. If you opened up an umbrella, it overcovers your auto policy and your homeowner's policy. So, for example, if you have $500,000 worth of liability on your homeowner's policy and someone comes out and injures themselves on your property and you have $1 million liability and they sue you. So now, if you had that umbrella policy, $500,000 of your homeowner's policy would cover it, and then that $1 million would come in and overlay on top of that homeowner's policy to get you that other $500,000 that was needed.
You had me at $1 million. I like it.
Yep. $1 million is the normal umbrella policy that we recommend. We also tell people, if you have financial assets, if you have rental properties.
Yeah, talk about rentals and investor stuff. Yes,
correct.
What's the difference?
If you have rental properties and you have financial assets, you definitely want to secure your financial assets. It's so you're putting insurance against your financial assets from them suing you, from them attacking your rental properties. You can list all of that under one umbrella.
Wow. Really important to make sure that you have all that and all that stuff. So, you have about teenage drivers. We're going to move away and we're going to drive and steer away for a second from home or stuff. Talk a little bit about this.
Teenage drivers.
Because I have them.
Yes. And as you know, they're very expensive. And I do too. Yeah, they are. So teenage drivers, there are carriers out there that will write them. Of course, you are going to pay. It doesn't matter how I slice that. I can't make that any better. Anytime someone calls me for a teenage driver, I forewarn them very upfront this is going to be expensive.
This is going to hurt.
Yes. Are you sitting down? Because this is going to hurt.
If you thought daycare and diapers were expensive, you ain't seen nothing yet.
You ain't seen nothing yet. And it isn't getting any better.
Oh my goodness. I tell you, it was funny. We owned a concrete company when I was a teenager, and you're going to laugh at this. Obviously I was under the whole company, FHL Concrete we owned, and it was a very large company, probably $20-25 million a year business, building homes and doing walls and all that fun stuff. But here I was 17 years old. I was driving a brand new dually wheel Chevrolet 1989 in high school, brand new. And at the time it was like $30,000 truck. Today it's like over $100,000. And here I'm at 17 years old driving like one of the nicest dually wheel trucks, work trucks you can imagine. And not only that, you're going to laugh. When I was in high school, I also had a Cadillac Cimarron.
Oh my goodness.
was the only high school kid in our high school that pulled up instead of I actually had a lowrider truck in the early 90s too.
Wow.
But yeah, I got to drive a really nice Cadillac. You remember those Cadillac Cimarron?
I do.
You talking about pimping my ride in high school in the 80s. You couldn't make this stuff up. I had all the girls. They would leave all the boyfriends with the trucks with the guns in the back.
Yeah.
They wanted to ride in the Cadillac,
They
baby.
wanted the Cadillac, the slow
yeah.
ride.
That was for prom. That was for date nights. That was for anywhere we were
good
going
old
to go.
time.
We had fun. But no, that was for real. And I just remember, you're right. I just remember my stepfather telling me how much money it costed to have me insured as a teenager. I wasn't doing anything wrong. I wasn't like recklessly driving and hot and rodding and stuff like that. I was a very responsible teenager. I promise you, I never drank, never did none of that. But the cost of it, even back then,
right.
I remember him sitting down with me and showing me and saying to me, don't you dare mess up. Don't you dare get in a wreck. Don't you dare. And I took it seriously, and thank God I never did. But boy, you're right. It's really expensive. So I tell my boys that story. I say, hey, look, when we're paying like $900 a month for car insurance for y'all, slow down.
And this is where another umbrella policy would come into play too, Darren.
I need two umbrellas. Go ahead.
Yeah, you have younger kids. We don't want to call them a liability, but they like to go out there and they like to have fun, and they're not thinking of their long-term repercussions that might come about.
Well, they think about it when I showed them, hey, that's $300 now from you.
Right.
You get to pay and contribute to. And they're like, what are you talking about? Yeah, this is how much it costs. And the thing they don't know is how long it stays, like even 1 point, how long it stays on the
3 years.
cost. 3 years?
3
so
years.
It's not the $150 speeding ticket you're under. It's $3,000 over 3 years because of what you did.
Correct. It is going to haunt you for at least 3 years.
So yeah, you know what my saying is? Turn 21.
Well, in car insurance, it's honestly better when you turn 25.
Well, that's it. Let's get you to 25, which I do. Christian, I helped buy a house this last year. He turned 25 and my son got married. I have an awesome daughter-in-law. She is going to be awesome. I told her, don't let him be speeding out there. He's a speedster. No, I'm just kidding.
Keep him under leash.
Yeah, but they're on their own stuff. They're on their own dime and all that.
No more on you.
We got more working towards 25. All right. We've got about 7 minutes in the program here. Check it out. What should buyers know before they make an offer on an older home? I think we kind of covered this a little bit, but anything else? We got this.
But the main thing that you're looking for when you're buying an older home is you want to know, and you have a right to ask the seller when the roof was updated, if the plumbing or electric has been updated, and if a licensed contractor did the updates. You don't want mom and pop doing the updates and then you come in and your house catches on fire because they did the electrical work.
Yeah, Harry, homeowners, please stay away.
Yes,
all right.
Leave it to the professionals.
Yeah, this kind of stuff is real important. We do that as agents. We are really big on, I have all that. And any information that you guys have, of course, that we can kind of hand over to buyers and homeowners is really, really important to put in the packets and things to pay attention to. That way they can't come back and say, you never told me, you didn't tell me about this. How can sellers avoid insurance problems before closing? Number one, get it early. Get it from you early. That's the number one thing we talked about. What other things? We've got about 6-7 minutes or so. What are some of the what have we not covered that we know we can cover?
Okay. So endorsements, let's circle back to endorsements a little bit. Everybody, doesn't know that there's different endorsements out there. So for example, we can talk about water sewer lines. Water sewer lines are underground. No one ever thinks of them.
That's right.
Right? They run from your house to the sidewalk. I have personal experience of this year. $25,000. I had to replace my water and sewer line from the sidewalk to my front porch, and my bill was $25,000.
But wait a minute. I thought that was covered by the city of Frederick or Frederick County or the municipality.
No, you are responsible for your sewer and water line from your front porch to the street where the water connects.
That's it.
And you are also responsible to replace the sidewalks that you rip up in the process, even if it is the city's. You're responsible. And my insurance policy covered that because I had the endorsement on my policy. So thank goodness, knock on wood, I only had to pay my $2,500 deductible versus that $25,000 bill.
And how much, if somebody adds that on now, if they hear us and they go, are you serious? I didn't know this. How much, what are we talking? How much does that cost? Is it, we're
talking
cheap.
like $30 a year.
Are you kidding me? $30 a year on my premium policy, on my policy.
Correct.
$30 more a year to get something that would cost almost upwards of, like you said, $20, $25, $30, $50,000. Who knows?
And people just don't realize it because it's
crazy.
under the ground. They don't notice it. They don't think that that's a problem. You know, until you get that $4,000 water bill and then you have the plumber come out and say, oh, $4,000 water bill is what I got. That's how I knew.
I had a place in Hagerstown that happened. It was pretty unbelievable. Oh, what about wells and septics though?
Wells and septics, same thing. It's still water, sewer, backup. You still have lines that come into the house. It's the same thing. It's just a different type of line.
I need you to check mine just to double check. You got me nervous for a minute here as we get on this stuff. I just want to make sure because I have well and septic. Lines. Yeah, I just want to make sure. I mean, for $30, you kidding me? You can't even get a hamburger. For God's sakes, it's less than a flipping hamburger.
Yep, that's what I tell kids when these younger generations that are buying homes, which I'm so proud of.
Yes.
But my daughter bought a home as well, so I'm proud of her. But I tell them the same thing. You know, make sure that you are maintaining your home. Make sure that you are covered for a liability that you wouldn't think, such as water sewer lines or equipment breakdown. Equipment breakdown's another great endorsement. That helps you with an HVAC system. If it is a mechanical breakdown, you can have the insurance company cover it.
Wow.
Yeah.
What about personal property?
Personal property.
Yeah, like what can somebody on their homeowner's policy add? Like something expensive. Oh, like an engagement ring, like a $10,000 engagement ring. Can you do that?
Yes.
You're
absolutely.
serious.
I can do that. For one, there's two different ways. You can do it under a general blanket under your homeowner's policy for jewelry, which I don't recommend. I recommend you scheduling it because something of that value, such as an engagement ring, you're going to want to put a value towards that. Yeah. So if you schedule it, say the engagement ring is $10,000 and you schedule it for $10,000, something happens to that engagement ring, you get $10,000 back. Yeah. Whereas the value blanket is going to depreciate.
But the caveat is, isn't it true? There's some things you have to do maintenance wise, and that would be, I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. Do you have to take that engagement ring that's $10,000? Does she need to, or you as the husband to be or husband, every year take it to a jeweler and have the prongs checked and have that documentation? Because what happens if somebody just arbitrarily calls you and says, "Oh, the $10,000 diamond, it's gone. We don't know what happened to it."
That's an insurance claim, and they're gonna investigate that a little bit more.
That's it. They want to know.
Yeah. I actually have had a lady, good friend of mine. She called. She thought her wedding ring was on the side of the sink, and it went down the drain.
Oh yeah, that can happen.
So and the insurance company paid her what her scheduled amount was.
Yeah.
So it was like $5,300, and that's what the insurance cut the check for because she thought it went down the drain. She wasn't 100% sure.
Wow.
But because she lost it, it's gone.
Yeah. So these are the things to think about. Is there any last thoughts you want to share? And then I want you to share your information, how all of our subscribers and listeners here can get a hold of you because, man, we have covered some serious stuff that is no joking matter.
Well, if I haven't covered everything or if you have any questions regarding your homeowner's policy, a big thing that look at is your replacement cost value. Make sure that your house is insured for the correct amount. I mean, some policies I look at, they're underinsured, some are overinsured. Always good to have an annual review every year of your policy. You should be updating your agent if you get a new roof, updating your agent if you do any electrical or plumbing. That does make a difference on your premium because we can update that with the carrier.
Yeah, the best to do is call you, sit down, go over every little thing. You do home, life,
auto.
What else? Auto, everything. All of it, everything.
Yeah, we do
Just
commercial business, we do home, we do life.
Your whole life.
Yeah,
do
we
it.
can handle it.
That's what I love. And it's one shop all. You guys do it all. You guys are great. And tell everybody how they can get a hold of you and your mom.
So they can give us a call at Connie Phillips Insurance. Our local number is 301-662-5717. You can also reach us on our website at insurance-financial.net, or you can email us, which is also all provided on our website.
Yep. And they can come in. Hey, you're right up from the Frederick Middle School. You're right up. Tell everybody where you're at.
So we're diagonal from China Garden, right up from the Frederick High School. That's what I always say, diagonal from the China Garden.
You can see us from China. Now you got me hungry. I want Chinese food now. Can you ensure my meal that I don't get sick?
No.
They do great food, by the way, but I just want to, now that we've been talking insurance, I want to make sure everything I do in life is insured. So, well, thank you guys again so much for coming and sharing. You guys have been amazing. And I know many of my clients and people just thank you for all that you've ever done for them. And all of you new clients and customers and people out there and everybody listening, please make sure you give Connie Phillips Insurance and Amy a call. And you guys are going to be thankful. You really will. And I appreciate you guys. Thanks for coming on in today with your professional expertise. And we will see you next Monday here on your real estate update, where it's going to be your weekly dose of reality. Strap in, get ready, let everybody know. And we'll see you next time. Thanks so much. Take care.
Thanks for joining Darren Ahearn on your real estate update. For more smart local real estate insight, market trends, and practical advice for buyers, sellers, and homeowners, follow and subscribe to stay one step ahead.
This episode is a proud production of the Everything Frederick Live Podcast Network, your home for Frederick's best podcasts, streaming daily on YouTube.